Adam, tell me something.
Did you know that the Panthers are probably going to be number 2 in their division next year?
Oh my, Dahm, that's true, I suppose.
We're back.
Oh my goodness. Welcome everyone into another episode of Dahm. That's Adam. My name is Owen, Domination7 Dahm. Joining me is twitter.com/itsyourboyadam with more horrible Panthers takes, I suppose. You still didn't learn your lesson from the first time.
We're coming back even stronger.
It's
Bryce Young's second season. Frank Reich is gone. The bad man is gone.
The bad man is gone. Yeah, so first you didn't listen to Truman telling you to honk shoe on the Panthers. Mm-mm. They win, 2 games all season? Was it 1 or 2?
I mean, it's hard to honk shoe on a team that gives you, nightmares. But so technically still not true. But
whatever. I can't. Dude, Truman's going to crucify you on Twitter when he hears the opening of this episode. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Well, welcome everybody back in. We're going to be talking offseason, obviously. Breaking news, if you didn't hear yet, I don't know how you would have missed it, but Jason Kelce retired today. I encourage everybody to go ahead and go look at his retirement video. It's pretty awesome. You'll cry. Travis and his mom are there, along with Kylie Kelce. It's very emotional. He cried a bunch of times, and he wrote a nice speech for the crowd, thanking Eagles faithful and his family, of course. So I highly encourage everyone to go look at that. So I really can't wait for his Hall of Fame speech. I think it's going to be sick.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really cool. And actually the only piece that I saw of his retirement speech was him mentioning, something about, Nick Foles having the biggest cock in the room.
Oh, yeah.
And then Peterson having the biggest balls, and then he just starts breaking down crying. So all I know is he was crying over cock and balls at some point.
I mean, obviously.
That's the only context I have.
I'm just glad that he was true to himself the whole time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, other than that, no real huge news. But, there is some more news that we will be getting into. So, let us proceed. So, we're going to do the Chiefs offseason preview. What do you think the Chiefs need most right now in the draft? And I'm going to say, to put a difficult stipulation on this, that you can't say wide receiver. Because obviously they're going to go wide receiver at some point in this draft.
It's going to be tackle.
Tackle?
It is going to be tackle. Yeah, we've got an aging left tackle, and we've got a right tackle that can't stop, start with penalties. We have way too many penalties.
Yeah, if Jawan Taylor doesn't pick it up, honestly, the worst part about Jawan Taylor is that his actual play, if you just remove penalties, has been good. Mm-hmm. But I fear for his job security if he continues to have these penalties. Yeah. Because, we saw in the playoffs. He wasn't penalized in the playoffs, and the Chiefs won a bunch of games. But, there were a whole bunch of crucial situations where if he would have taken a penalty, that would have, possibly cost us a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and pretty early on in the season, it was apparent that, a third of the penalties called on him weren't being called anywhere else in the league, too. Mm-hmm. Maybe even a half. Right. So it was just one of those things. Maybe you'll have a better season next season just because they're not looking at him as much.
Yeah, and I know that the Chiefs did that whole thing where they essentially called out the whole league and subbed him out and put somebody in and said, hey, go early.
Andy Reid's a genius. Yeah.
That was so crazy. Being able to call out a sports league in a post-game interview is pretty insane. But yeah, I think that it's going to be an interesting draft. Obviously, it's not in Kansas City this year. I hope you went to at least one day of the draft last year. It's pretty fun.
Oh, yeah. But it was really fun.
I'm looking forward to it this year. The Combine's been, the Combine. I never really focus in on the Combine, even for K-State players, because I know social media is going to show me what I need to see. Mm-hmm. I did see Xavier Worthy ran a 4.21?
A 4.21, yeah, and that's pretty crazy. The only thing is, do we think we're going to get Tank Dell or something if we get Xavier Worthy? He's 165 pounds.
Yeah, he's really small.
Yeah, he's not small stature wise. He's just light. Like, I don't know if he can take hits or not. So
yeah,
we'll
he's like what, like 6'1", like 165, something like that.
Oh yeah, so it's.
I mean, super fast, but like, do we think he's the next Tyreek Hill kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, and that's just it. Like, he's not even a deep ball guy. Like, they only threw it to him deep like 10 times last year,
Right.
and he caught 3 of them.
Right.
So he's the guy you get open in space, like out in the flats, and then just watch him go. Like, he's fast.
I mean, experience watching. Well, wasn't able to watch really most of the Texas versus K-State game, but I know that his ability in space is insane. But I personally think the Chiefs need to go for like a more of a Larry Fitzgerald, Julio Jones type wide receiver, just a big guy to make more contested catches, because we already have the open field yak guy in Rashee Rice. But the argument is like, if Xavier Worthy falls to you, are you going to grab him? But one thing that I'm most looking forward to in this draft is who are the big name guys that are going to bust, because this happens every year, especially at the quarterback position. Everyone goes, this guy's the next best thing, Josh Rosen, horrible NFL quarterback, electric college football quarterback. Same thing with Zach Wilson, But then there's guys like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen in every draft class that, everyone's like, oh, whatever, afterthought, give a team a D- for drafting them. And all of a sudden they're clearly a franchise guy.
As far as like busts like that, man, that's hard to say, because I haven't watched a lot of like the quarterback tape for like Drake May and Jaden Daniels, but I know it's statistically one of them is gonna bust like super hard, like Zach Wilson level hard, like,
right.
or Sam Darnold even,
Exactly, yeah. Guys that were really, really good in college.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. And to your credit on the Panther side of things, Bryce Young actually graded pretty well for the season. It's just like he literally has no team around him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just it. The reason I thought he would do well is because I thought he had the support, which was Frank Reich. He had a young O-line that was supposed to be top 5 going into the year. That did not happen.
No, it did not.
And then they were supposed to run the shit out of Miles Sanders, and that didn't happen either. So a lot of things didn't happen that should have,
Yeah. We'll see how it works out for you in the coming season. That was supposed to change the slide. I'll click here.
If it's any consolation, I think if the Falcons trade for Justin Fields, I think they're going to be number 1 in their division.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. The NFC South is going to be another slobber knocker. I think we're once again going to do the NFC South team of the week, because the AFC South is going to actually be half decent.
Yeah, it's them versus Tampa Bay. That's what I think
it'll be weird. So, but yeah, I hope that this freaking giant. Oh my gosh.
We're skipping ahead, huh?
I hope this giant X thing isn't on the dang screen for our viewers. Can I freaking click on the screen? There we go. Okay. So first topic of the day. What are we gonna do with Chris Jones? Do you think we sign him? Do you think we let him walk? Because right now, from what I'm seeing, when they with a deal not yet done with Chris Jones, and we franchise tag L'Jarius Sneed, it looks like we're probably gonna let both of them walk.
Let both of them go?
Well, that's not what I would want to do. I want to re-sign them both. But I think that's what the Chiefs are going to do.
I'm 100%, like, for the past 2 years straight, I've been saying we need to pay Chris Jones, because we're just not going to find another player like him out there. We're not going to draft him that well. Like, L'Jarius Sneed, do you remember what round we drafted him?
I believe he was a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick.
Exactly. And that's just it. We're really good at drafting cornerback.
Yeah, which is crazy.
L'Jarius Sneed is amazing, but I mean, I'm not going to say we can just draft his replacement outright. Trent McDuffie's still going to be here, and since we draft that position so well, I'd be more apt to let L'Jarius Sneed walk rather than Chris Jones.
Well, we're not going to be able to let L'Jarius Sneed walk, because
we
placed a franchise tag on him, and either we trade him or he's on the team next year, which is the good news.
Ideally, we get both back.
Yes, I would love to get both of them back. If you had to choose, actually, we got to focus on Chris Jones here, because we have more L'Jarius Sneed talk coming up later. But I don't know if I'm Chris Jones, if the Chiefs offer me $30 million a year, I'm not sure I take it.
Why is that?
Because I think he's the top DT on the market right now, and somebody is probably willing to give him $35 per year.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, the Rams gave aging Aaron Donald that money, and Chris Jones, just blew up plays in the Super Bowl. I'm not sure if Chris Jones, he said in the parade when he was full of alcohol that he wanted to stay here for 3-4 more years. I think he really does.
Shot his agent in the foot a little bit there, yeah.
I think he really does want to stay in KC. But I also think if KC is going to lowball him with 27, 28, that he's going to be gone. And I also think he wants a 3 or 4 year deal, and I think the Chiefs want to give him like a 1 or 2 year deal.
See, I think they actually came to agree on like 30 at some point. It's just they didn't agree on the guaranteed money. Like that was the main issue at that point. Mm-hmm. So with this much more in cap space, maybe that gets him the extra $5 million guaranteed he's looking for. That gets him, like we could pay him $32 million a year, and that would be fine, right?
I think the Chiefs. I think you're right. I think the Chiefs really should focus on doing it. I think it's very possible. Mm-hmm. The cap space just shot up gigantically because I think the NFL is realizing more and more that star power makes good teams, and no one wants to see DeAndre Hopkins on the Titans.
No, that should never have happened.
Yeah. Well, first of all, terrible choice for DeAndre. Yeah. He should have come to the Chiefs for a cheaper deal and got a ring. Yeah, for all of his requirements, like an elite quarterback, a chance to win a ring, all of these things. Like, and then he goes to the Titans. It's just kind of like... Yeah, Mike Evans put out the same manifesto and stayed in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not serious about winning a ring, Mike. Okay, we see that. Got it. You care about your legacy in one city versus actually winning a ring. We get it. I respect the loyalty. But you can't lie to us about, being serious about winning a ring, because clearly you're not. Tampa Bay is probably not going back to the playoffs. And I'll eat my words if Tampa Bay wins a playoff game next year. But their ceiling is 1 win in the playoffs. They're not a serious contender.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, but Chris Jones, he's got some decisions to make. And I really do hope that he stays in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I would be shocked if the Chiefs let him go.
So something else to consider too, what if he does just come back on a 1 or 2 year deal? Because we're in a very rare position right now where we could be the first team to three-peat.
Yeah, right? I think especially guys that have been on for all 3 of the Super Bowls, like Chris Jones. Mm-hmm. Chris Jones is what? It's like him, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Nick Allegretti, and like James Winchester that have been on all 4 Super Bowl appearances and all 3 Super Bowl wins.
Was James Winchester there for the first one?
He was, yes. He was there the whole time.
I didn't even consider that.
Yeah. So there's like 5 guys. I think there's like a special teamer as well in there. I think maybe Mike Dana was there for the whole time. I'm not sure on that. But I know James.
I would believe that.
I know James Winchester, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes, and then Nick Allegretti as well.
I think we actually drafted Mike Dana like the year after the first Super Bowl.
See, yeah. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think guys need to be looking to come to Titletown. Mm-hmm. I get that you don't like the Chiefs, T. Higgins, but if you want a serious chance at winning a Super Bowl, you need to come to Kansas City.
He got tagged. He might actually get a deal with the Bengals because of the raising the cap.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I mean, Truman's not here to say it, but. I'll pick up the mantle for him and say this is Truman take. Truman does not trust Joe Burrow at all.
Okay.
So I don't think Truman says this every year that Joe Burrow is going to have a down year, and I remind him that Joe Burrow is really good when healthy. But we'll see. So.
I mean, he's shown when he's healthy he can throw 4 interceptions too.
That's true.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the season. You're in that slump immediately, and
we'll see. I do feel bad for him. Injuries suck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was playing out of his mind before that. It was a finger injury. Is that what it was?
I think it was thumb. It was like a thumb and an extension ligament.
Mm-hmm.
So because he couldn't hold the ball.
Yeah. I remember the game when that happened.
And the Ravens booed him. Mm-hmm. Remember that? And then Bengals fans still had the audacity to cheer for the Ravens in the AFC Championship game.
No, they should not have done that.
No, they should not have done that.
That's a sellout right there.
Yeah, I saw plenty of Ravens fans cheering for the Chiefs.
AFC North teams do not support each other.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
That is law.
You'll never, ever catch me cheering for the Broncos. Ever, ever, ever. I need to move this down.
No.
Move this down. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know why I put this here. Wait, did I skip over one? No, I didn't. Okay. Wait. Where? I had it. Okay, I deleted it. We're still sticking on the Chris Jones topic. Because what do you think the Chiefs are going to do with L'Jarius Sneed? That's another full topic I wanted to discuss. I think that they keep him, but if someone wants to go crazy and give him Jalen Ramsey money somewhere,
They could.
and it's like, hey, Chiefs, we'll give you a first. They'll take it. I'm not sure if they pull the trigger for a second, but I could. If they give like a second and like a fourth, I could see the Chiefs trading him. Because when you have Chamari Connor and Jalen Watson and, obviously Trent McDuffie and Brian Cook in there, and you go, hey, we have a second-round grade for a guy that we think most people have a third-round grade for, and they go pick up another corner, I think they could theoretically fill that spot. And I could see Brett Veach being really aggressive on that market. But it might have to be like a player swap kind of deal, like a player and a pick for L'Jarius Sneed.
But like, what kind of player would we be looking for? Like, would it be a wide receiver?
Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, wow.
Brandon Ayuk for L'Jarius Sneed and a third.
I think that would be nuts. Yeah.
Like I'm talking like a fringe wide receiver 2. Like, so maybe Ayuk's a bad example, but like Adam Thielen and a third.
You're too high on Adam Thielen. I
love Adam Thielen.
I think he's great, but even I'm not as high on Adam Thielen as you are.
We need Justin Watson, but Megatron. We need a Chris Conley. Honestly, I've been saying Chris Conley since before I knew he was on the Niners. I did not know like this whole last season that he was on the Niners.
He was always a solid number 3 for a long time.
And then he was like number 1 in the fucking Super Bowl. He was having the game of his damn life in the Super Bowl. So annoying.
He wasn't even doing that bad at the Jags. I think he was at the Jags, wasn't he? He was there for like 2 years.
Yes, and he was good.
Yeah.
Because of Chris Conley. He's like the most solid.
Yeah.
He's a solid player.
Man's a producer.
There's a reason he's still in the league. But yeah, I'd be hard pressed to see us trading him.
You mentioned trading him for a first. Like what if we packaged him in a fourth for a first, like a mid-teens first or an early teens first in this year's draft?
I don't know. For a corner, for a first, like who needs a corner that badly? Like
the Eagles.
Are the Eagles trading for L'Jarius Sneed?
That's a late teens pick, but like, I mean,
it would have to be a late teens pick.
It would be.
I don't think anyone's giving up a top 15 pick for L'Jarius Sneed.
No, I mean we can dream, but
I think he's good enough to warrant that. I think he's a top 5 corner in the league. I think McDuffie and Sneed are the top cornerback duo in the league.
But I mean, if there's a wide receiver that's still available in like the early 20s, even like Adonai Mitchell from Texas, that guy,
like you think we might say, hey, give us your pick. And we'll give you a third and Sneed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe. I didn't even think of a trade day.
Trying to get a better wide receiver, because if we could even do that and get say Rome Odunes has fallen to the 18th pick.
Yeah.
And we want to go up there and get Rome. Hell yeah. That's amazing. Like he would be the number 1 wide receiver taken in each of the past 3 drafts. Well, past 2 drafts,
Right.
over any of those other guys. Like he's a number 1 wide receiver. He's a true X.
Yeah, but okay. But we all know what's really going to happen.
We're going to
He's going to stay here. We're going to take a tackle. We're not going to draft a wide receiver. Yeah. And Brett Veach is going to say after the draft, it's like, yeah, we feel confident with our wide receiver room right now.
100%.
And we're gonna trot out Rashee Rice and Justin Watson as your 1-2 punch.
Justin Ross is the number 3, the oft-injured number 3.
Justin Ross. And then, please draft a wide receiver, Brett Veach. Please don't make me watch Sky Moore ever again.
I mean, another one to keep your eye on for wide receivers, Keon Coleman.
Man, I'll tell you what, draft analysis is my weakest aspect. I don't care, dude.
I've just been looking at wide receivers.
You know who I let look at wide receivers?
Who's that?
Brett Veach.
Brett Veach.
That's who I let do that.
He's only hit on 1 so far.
Yeah, sure.
It's Rashee. That's it.
He could probably do it better than me. fuck. I'll let the professionals scout talent. I'll just memorize the jersey number when they're on the team. Okay, that's what I'm good at. All right, I think that's enough for the Chiefs for now. Yeah, I bet you we probably go running back in the draft at some point. I think, like you said, we get a tackle. We probably go defensive end like we always do at some point, and I think we get a corner and then a wide receiver.
I'd love to go defensive tackle in the second or third.
Yeah,
there's some solid guys.
There's
there.
a lot of solid guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every K-State's fan's dream is to draft either BB or Sinnott, but
he's going like early second or late first.
I think Sinnott BB's going in the first round.
Okay. Maybe.
I think both K-State guys are maybe first-round picks.
Okay.
But I think they're not day 3 picks.
No, they're not day 3 picks at all. No, they're both like day 1 or guaranteed day 2. Like Sinnott is a third-round pick as a tight end.
And I think both Sinnott and BB had a really good combine. There are 2 guys that didn't really need a combine, but it really helped them out.
Yeah, I mean, Sinnott could be mid-second. Late second.
I'm excited. I think Benson is going to be a really good player in the NFL. I think he has that prototype.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to compare him to Gronk, but I think I don't want to say that he's on that level. But the play style of, short passes, I'm not dropping the ball if you hit me, and the crushing blocks that Gronk had in his time in the NFL, I think you can see that in Benson.
Yeah, I can see that. We also had a Gronk at K-State at one point too. So
yeah, but he wasn't that good.
I mean, that energy had to go somewhere.
Yeah,
and that went into Ben Sinnott.
Yeah, there you go. He's the forgotten Gronkowski brother.
Exactly.
All right, so I guess we're gonna transition now into our Royals talk. So obviously, since you don't live under a rock, you know that the Royals are looking to build a downtown stadium. What you might not know, and I don't know why people don't know this, but the Chiefs are forcing the Royals out. They're saying, hey, get the hell out of here. We want to put stuff in the Truman Sports Complex, and your stadium is blocking our development. So they're kicking the Royals out. If you didn't know that, that is the truth. Damn. Whether or not they're actually going to tell you, the Chiefs are scooting the Royals away. And besides, baseball stadiums belong in downtown. That's my opinion. I am all in favor of a downtown stadium. Mm-hmm. I'm all in favor of one in the Crossroads District. I understand the bartenders being like, hey, this is our history. It's going to be tough for us. I don't think it's going to be tough for you. I think you're going to get a lot more money. I think 180 games, which, crowds minimal is what, 15,000?
And if the companies like the ramen place and all them, they're relocated, get a fair package, like you basically just pick up right where you left off.
And I think
it's not even...
I think what the business owners need to remember is that this is paid by taxpayers. So at the same time, they're getting essentially a government stimmy to move. No one's going to be handed $500 and told to fuck off. That's not what's going to happen.
No. They'll get a new place. I mean, some of them, since a lot of them are food and stuff in general, they could even be offered, a venue in the stadium. Right. Which would be even crazier. So
yeah, I think there's a lot of money to be made. I do understand their point of view. However, I think people are being short-sighted in just how much commerce a downtown stadium would bring. Can you imagine going to a Royals game and getting blasted in the parking garage, walking in to the stadium, being like, man, this is super cool, and then walk out of the stadium and look across the street, and there's a fucking Crossroads bar there sitting there?
Yeah. No, I mean, you start at the bar, then you go in, and then you go back to the bar or a different bar. It's just the whole night. Instead of having to walk, a mile back to your car and then drive home.
Right. And
someone's still sober.
And I understand the criticisms of, we want to tailgate. I'm going to clue you guys in on a little secret. You can tailgate on your couch before you leave your house. I know it's insane. I know it's not quite the same thing, but you can pregame. These strategies exist. And hey, listen, I'm all for the beer diet at a Royals game. I think that's freaking awesome. But you know what I can also do? Play beer diet at my house and then go to the game. I'm just saying. I mean,
100%. You can pregame however you want to. Like, you can cook whatever you want to at home before you go. Like, I mean.
So what are your thoughts on Downtown Stadium? Are you pro Downtown Stadium?
Yeah, I'm pro Downtown Stadium. I think that's gonna increase city culture by quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a small amount of voices that are dissenting, but squeakiest wheel gets the grease, that sort of thing. The city, in its majority, is gonna benefit from this.
Yeah.
So it's.
Have you been to any of the cities around here that do have a downtown baseball stadium, like either Denver Stadium or St. Louis's stadium?
Well, I've been to St. Louis. I don't know if I've been to their baseball stadium before though. I went to their where was it that they played football? Like it was the Rams stadium,
whatever dome.
Yeah, no, I've been in there.
That place was a sketchy neighborhood. That place was
very sketchy. Yeah,
that was not, dude. You go down there, like everything south of that thing was run down.
I went there in high school because our team won state over there.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, it was.
So I was with the band, and it was pretty.
Well, I mean,
pretty sketch.
The Truman Sports Complex ain't in the greatest neighborhood either, but it has the highway separating it. So the only thing you see is Arrowhead parking lots, and so it doesn't show you how not great of an area it is. But yeah, I think downtown stadiums are awesome. I think you go look at was it Busch Stadium, Busch Gardens?
I don't remember the name of it.
I don't fucking remember the name of the.
I think Busch Gardens sounds great though.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not Busch Gardens. That's a theme park in Florida. You go to the St. Louis Stadium and you go to the Colorado Rocky Stadium. I think it's like Coors Stadium. I think it's called. I don't know, but they're just right on the city, and you exit the stadium and there's 7 bars sitting there. I think it's really cool. I can understand from a price standpoint, but once again, just tailgate. So I think they'll get it done. I think it's going to bring a lot of things to the stadium, but my one gripe, I swear to fuck, if they face the outfield away from downtown, I'm going to lose my mind.
I agree, but I think that's probably what's going to happen.
If I can't see the 6 skyscrapers that are in Kansas City in the backdrop, what are we doing, folks?
Yeah.
It's not like we're hitting these into the Missouri River, guys, But whatever. I think it's poetic that it's going up in the old Kansas City Star building. Fuck the Kansas City Star, dude.
I think they'll probably face it because the way it's faced right now is like what, northwest?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, if they do the same thing, you should be fine. Face it right into the skyscrapers.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. All right. I'm going to move into the K-State section. For the K-State women. I know I've watched a couple games. I don't know how many of you watch. Have you been keeping up with the K-State women?
Lately, it's been what I've heard about it, and I've heard that Ayoka, being as good a player as she is, has been a little slow because of her injuries lately.
Yes.
And not able to keep up.
So at one point, K-State women were number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they're ranked anymore. I think we still are.
Are we on a losing streak?
Yeah, we lost to Iowa State. Iowa State did the double over us this year. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. State women's.
I think last time I looked, we were 15th, and that was probably a week ago.
Yeah. We are now 16th.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was.
We beat the crap out of Texas Tech, which we really needed.
Mm-hmm. I saw that score. It was like 73-49. What was the score?
You just nailed it.
Hell yeah.
That is the score.
Yeah.
Well done. But yeah, so at one point being number 2 in the nation, no Big 12 championship, no hosting no hosting any games in the tournament. If the women do not win the Big 12 tourney or make like an Elite 8, is this season a failure for them?
Yes, because I'm not sure we're going to have the same we're not going to have the same type of ammo next season.
Right.
We just aren't. Like, I think Ayoka's going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
We have some younger players that are good, and we were winning without Ayoka for a chunk of the season too.
Right.
It's just.
Yeah, I think you've got to classify it as a failure. You were at one point number 2 with people arguing that you should have been classified as the best team in the nation.
Mm-hmm. You
let Iowa State, a team that went, I think, 17-12 on the season, do the double over you. And you lose to KU, a terrible KU women's team, by the way. That's just unacceptable. And it's really frustrating. And I think for the women to save their season, they have to, like I said, make an Elite 8 or win the Big 12 tournament. And once again, Big 12 tournament is like 7th on your list of achievements. It's, winning a national title, making a Final Four, making an Elite Eight, winning your conference, making a Sweet 16, then winning your conference tournament is right there. Number 6? So, I mean, they've just got to make a deep run now. It is deeply disappointing. They've been fun to watch. Ayuka Lee's a special player. Mm-hmm. It seems like a lot of times when she touches the ball, it's going in. I think she's done a lot for the women's game in terms of especially K-State fans watching, but deeply disappointing that they're probably not going to get any hardware out of the season at all.
Yeah, I mean, somehow we just got to get our shit together. I don't know. We got to make it.
I saw this on Twitter. Who do you think is a worse coach in terms of wasting talent? Pete Hughes, which is the K-State basketball coach, which K-State had multiple round 1 and round 2 picks taken in the MLB draft last year, or Jeff Mittie, which is had a Ayuka Lee for 3 years.
I mean, it's got to be Jeff, right?
I don't know, man. Jordan Wicks is like a monster, and K-State can win anything.
I don't know, because I honestly couldn't tell you because I didn't see too much of Wicks in the time he was playing.
Right. K-State needs to do a better job at promoting their baseball.
I mean, yeah, no, they absolutely do because I haven't seen that much of the baseball. But as far as Ayuka, I watched a lot of Ayuka play because being in the basketball band. And we could basically see how good she was, and there's a good chunk of the time that she was there that they actually weren't even feeding her the ball. She'd get it every now and then. But this is early on, but you could already see that she was that player.
Right.
And
you know who figured that out and beat K-State twice this year? Iowa State. They have this stud freshman that just beat the crap out of them.
Iowa State has been the bane of our existence for
I hate them
a little bit.
I hate them so much.
I'm not an Iowa State fan.
I'll tell you this. I think that more and more as I grow older, I realize this, that I think you should hate everyone in your conference. It's fun to be nice with Texas Tech fans. Mm-hmm. I don't like losing them in any sport.
We're already off to a great start with Utah.
Oh, screw them. They
Fuck Utah.
Suck. Holy shit. They're the most arrogant assholes ever.
Yeah. No,
if we don't win the conference next year,
run our conference.
Dude, if we don't win the conference in football next year, we're screwed. If Utah wins it next year, oh my gosh.
No, that's the worst possible outcome. There's Texas and Oklahoma winning it, and then there's Utah winning it.
Right.
And for some reason, that's worse.
It is almost, it's only worse because Texas only won it, once?
Yeah. They were always back, but they never really were.
Oh my gosh. I can't stand anybody in the conference. I think that's the way it should be. Mm-hmm. I don't hate everybody, but unless it comes to bowl season, mm-hmm. I want to see NCAA tournament is different. I don't give a shit about Big 12 going anywhere in the tournament. I hope they all lose first round. It's hilarious. But
especially KU.
Bowl games is the only time when I want all of our teams to win because it doesn't impact K-State's success if they all win.
Yeah, I mean, if we win all of our bowl games, too, it helps with, I guess it doesn't matter as much anymore, but the playoffs.
Yeah, with money.
Yeah.
We still get money.
We still get money, but, in order to have a Big 12 team actually make the playoffs, if we have an undefeated team, are they actually going to make it? Because, I mean, they should, but,
right.
We've seen an undefeated team not make it before because they didn't think they'd be able to compete, right?
Yeah, I just hate him, especially Baylor. Fuck Baylor. I hate him so much. All right. So, Truman wanted to ask this question to me, and I think this question is a little bit silly, but you can tell me what you think about it. What would you rather have? K-State make the tournament as an 11 seed?
Double over KU all the way.
And not be KU? Or you would rather do a double over KU and 100%. Miss the tournament? No.
Yeah. Well, how far are we going to make it in the tournament if we go? Is that going to be something we remember? We're going to remember doubling over KU this year. I will remember that for the rest of my life.
Oh, I don't know. I hate KU as much as the next guy. Beating them once on a terrible down year for us is.
When is the last time we won in Allen Fieldhouse?
2013, I think.
God, it needs to happen again.
With the Beasley team, maybe?
It's like the Chiefs' win streak over the Broncos. Eventually it needed to break. It didn't have to, but...
the Cats have also been really... The men have also been really close in Allen Fieldhouse, 4 or 5 times. We all remember.
Oh, yeah, every time.
I'll never, ever forget how much I yelled during this V travel game. I will never, ever forget how much I was yelling at my TV. Because if you'll remember, that was Barry Brown also chucked up a 3 in that game and missed it, and then led to this V rebound. And we were winning that game. We were winning. Actually, no, it was going to go into overtime. It was tied. We had a chance to win the game, missed the shot, and they fucking traveled.
You know what? If we go to overtime this year, we're not losing.
That's so crazy.
We are not fucking losing.
Jerome Tang better figure it out next year, or he's going to lose his job. This season was really bad.
So, and that's just it. I don't think this is a Tang thing, because there's some stats from a few games where we missed 90% of the 3-pointers that we shot.
Yeah.
We're actually getting in position to be able to take these shots, and we're missing the majority of them.
Yeah.
And that's the most frustrating thing.
I think the most frustrating thing is last year, was supposed to be not a competitive year. We were supposed to take an aging and recovering Keontae Johnson, and then Marquise Noel was supposed to continue being a mid-level player. And they both just exploded and are now NBA players. And I think that hype, from an Elite 8 season, we're like, okay, let's build, let's contend. This team is going to be a down year this year, but let's push for the Big 12 title at some point, and maybe fall short, and maybe finish top half, not second to last. So, but you would really take the double over KU?
100%.
No way, man.
I'm not going to remember us getting an 11 seed and maybe winning one game in the tournament and then being out the next. I'm not going to remember that.
Yeah,
a double over KU, I've never remembered that happening in my lifetime.
I guess it would be special. I just don't like thinking of KU as special, but they are a top
what?
program.
We double over KU and then we win the NIT.
We're not even going to the NIT.
I know we're not.
We're not even making the CIB.
No.
CIB is for teams with 5 starting seniors that didn't make the NIT. We don't have that. We're not going to the CIB, and we're not fucking making the NIT, man. I guarantee you in the Big 12 tournament, we bounce out first round. I'll tell you right now. We'll have a 10-point lead with 5 minutes to go. We'll choke it and lose.
We get our 3-point shot to 50%, and we're up 30 points a game.
But we
let
West Virginia come back. The worst team in the conference.
Yeah. I mean, we're better than we show. I think we're a lot better than we show. It's just we make a lot of really stupid mistakes.
Well, it takes Cam Carter, Arthur Kaluma, and Tyler Perry to not all be themselves. They need to just be a normal player instead of themselves, and we'll be fine. But they all keep turning over the ball, taking terrible shots.
No, they need to play team ball.
Yeah, they're just Okay. Well, I don't want to talk about this topic anymore. What's next?
Double over KU.
There we go. That's right. I should have put this one earlier when we were still talking about the NFL. Now that Russell Wilson has officially been cut, $85 million in dead cap, by the way.
I think that's more than double the highest recent amount.
Yeah. So that is the record for all-time dead cap hit for a single player.
Yeah.
Can we officially say that the Broncos trade with the Seahawks for Russell Wilson is the worst trade of all time? Because I think it is.
For their benefit, yes, absolutely.
Here, let me read you exactly what they traded for, because I took a screenshot because I was like, man, that is terrible. So the Broncos got Russell Wilson and a 4th.
Okay.
The Seahawks got Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, a 2022 first-round pick, a 2022 second, a 2022 fifth, a 2023 first, and a 2023 second. So 2 firsts, 2 seconds, a 5th, and 3 players for Russell Wilson and a 4th. So a player who is now cut after 2 years.
The Seahawks fleeced them. Them.
That is the worst. That's got to be the worst trade of all time.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, yeah, it definitely was. But the worst one that for the Chiefs was when they got Peyton Manning and they won the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna say worst one in their benefit's gonna be this for Russell Wilson, but there's gonna be another instance.
And the year they won the Super Bowl, that was the year we beat the crap out of Peyton Manning, 5 interceptions. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever. Yeah, you got your hardware, but we tied you. No big deal. John Elway, please. Actually, I think that was a great trade. I think John Elway is probably one of the best front office members in sports. I think the Broncos should give him a raise so that he keeps evaluating quarterback talent like he has forever because he's really good at it, actually.
Yes.
So, yeah, Broncos fans, if you're listening to this, extend Elway. He's great.
Yeah, it should give him some GM rights.
Yeah, absolutely. Give him his GM powers back.
Mm-hmm.
I know you recently moved him away from direct general manager spot. Bring him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy shit, what a terrible fucking trade.
I'm pretty sure Sean Payton loves him too. So
yeah, I absolutely hate the Broncos so much. I've been really gloating on TikTok in the TikTok comments. And one Broncos fan did comment something pretty funny. Is she said, no one beats the Broncos 17 times in a row, baby. And I said, you know what? All of my Broncos friends texted me that too. So,
yeah, actually, my most hated team in our conference is the Chargers.
I hate them all. Like I said about KState and all our teams in the Big 12. I hate every team in the AFC West.
I mean, no, I felt bad for the Raiders for the past few years. Like
No,
to the point
fuck
where
'em.
I hate them a little bit less.
That's
no,
crazy.
okay. You remember when they danced on the logo?
Yes.
That was a hate game. That was completely just pure hate.
That was
right?
crazy. I'm glad that the institutions are like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they have players like Max Crosby, who you have to respect because he's a good player.
Oh, yeah.
But you also love to hate him because
Mhm.
he's a fucking competitive prick, just like Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like if I was any team in the AFC West, I would hate Mahomes so much. Like
Oh, yeah.
for a similar way you hate Tom Brady, where he's an asshole on the field, flopping, getting calls, and then he goes off the field, takes an interview, and he's a nice guy. And you're like, oh, it's worse. It's worse now. Like anytime they bring in Tom Brady and he talks, and he's like a rational person who like hypes up other players, I'm like, man, fuck this guy. You know?
Man, the hate you feel for no reason is the worst hate possible.
Yeah.
You know, it's the dirtiest hate you can have.
I hate Justin Herbert. Dude hasn't said more than 5 words since jumping the league. Fuck him.
I hate Keenan Allen because he actually does say shit. He talks a lot of shit, and then he can't follow up on it. But
Yeah, that guy's trash. That guy's a bum. I mean, he's not really a bum, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I hate them all. So, yeah. I'll never forget Jamal Charles fumbling that ball when we were going to break the Broncos' own streak that they had over us. Never forget that fumble because I was watching that with Shannon in the Honors House basement, and she was the only one celebrating. I was like, man, fuck you. Yeah, if
I
you're
prefer to forget that just for Jamal Charles's legacy.
I prefer to as well. Unfortunately, that one sticks in my head. However, another one that sticks in my head is 5 touchdowns versus the Raiders.
Oh shit! That was the early game. Was that the one with the baseball field?
Yes.
When they still had
No.
going on?
That was
Like,
that was the 28-point game in one quarter.
Yeah. No, which is also just nuts.
Deep to Robinson. He held on.
And yeah, he had like 180 yards in that game.
DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah, it was, and he's doing well now. At the Rams.
He's fine with the Ravens. Yeah.
I don't feel like we have those games anymore though.
Yeah, whatever. We're fixing that this offseason.
Yeah, fixing that this offseason. I hope so. I don't know. I just doesn't feel like we have that offensive firepower. We don't push the ball down the field.
We just only win the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah,
Terrible.
that's it.
It's just not exciting
it's
anymore
really
to be a Chiefs fan.
Pitiful state of being.
Yeah.
I really hate picking number 32 every year.
No,
Truman was
Truman
saying
said
this
that
last
too, yeah.
week. Yeah.
It's just so hard, man. Like, there's nobody left at pick 32. You have to pick from the scraps. Then, you have to get these free agent guys and turn them into yak monsters, or pick second-round wide receivers instead of first. And
Sometimes you have to trade away L'Jarius Sneed for Romo Duns. It's just one of those things.
It's just so frustrating, man. Please extend the draft or something. I don't know. But yeah, haha, Broncos, y'all suck. Hope this gets quoted somewhere.
Yep,
I'll
eat a
laugh when I
dick.
see it. All right, let's see what's next on this agenda here. Is that really it? That's it? Oh, wait. Yeah. I guess that brings us to the tail end of our episode. I'd like to thank the Patreon members, Joe, Aaron, Dylan, Skylar, and Meltbox, actually opening soon in the Iron District. And they've got cones now. Have you ever had anything from Meltbox Kansas City, Adam?
No.
So you know where the Iron District is in North Kansas
No,
City?
I have no idea. You guys have mentioned this like 1,000
So it's
times.
literally just a tiny little like event area
Mm-hmm.
that's made all out of recycled shipping containers, like metal ones, which
Okay.
is why it's called the Iron District.
Got it. Okay.
But definitely head down there one of these times and go try yourself a Melt Monster from Meltbox. It's really good.
Is
Like,
it
I'm not
have
just
like a bunch
shilling.
of little shops inside the same area? Is
Yeah.
that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bunch of little shops all like
Mm-hmm.
inside shipping containers.
Oh, okay.
And it's got like a
All
little like central area. Obviously, it's got some bar like a bar
right. Mhm.
with a bunch of different. It's like a microbrewery. It's really good. But definitely go have some ice cream from Meltbox Kansas City because unironically,
Okay.
no shill, no bias. It's really good.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah, we're gonna go into our top 5 now, and I just put top 5 school mascots, and I want to restrict this to college, and you also can't say Wildcats
Ah, fuck.
because, listen, I love Willie as much as the next guy, but he was gonna make both of our lists, so I want you.
He was gonna be number 1.
I want you to get creative. So
Shit, I'm not good at that.
got my number 1. I'm just gonna go kind of weird here. It's one from the ones that hit the top of my brain. Like, and so I'm also saying like you'd be saying like Red Raiders. It doesn't need to be necessarily like the name of their mascot. Like you don't have to be like Ugga the Bulldog,
Okay.
which is
okay.
a really stupid name for fucking. I can get it, but okay. Okay. All right, I got my 5. So at number 5, I have the Wire Falcon, which is the Air Force's.
Okay.
The Air Force's mascot. I think it's an awesome mascot. At number 4, I've got the Alabama Crimson Tide. I think that's a really weird one. You're a wave, but you're also an elephant. Whatever. Sounds cool to me. Number 3, I've got the Golden Hurricanes. I think it's really funny that a place in Tulsa that has never seen a hurricane ever is the Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they stole it from Georgia Tech. I think there's a story like that they stole it from Georgia Tech or
It's
something.
appropriation, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2, I have the Stanford Cardinal. I think that's a cool one. And number 1, best mascot in sports. It's the Kentucky Hilltoppers, baby.
Actually, I love that one.
Western
yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah. No, I've always been familiar too. My mom went to Western Kentucky.
No way.
Yeah. No, I have like a little towel with my name on it from when I was a little kid.
That's
yeah.
funny. Yeah. So going back through the Wire Falcons, I think I might be pronouncing that wrong. It's GYR. I think it might be Gier Falcon. I don't know. Then the Crimson Tide. Then the Golden Hurricanes. Then the Cardinal. And then the Hilltoppers.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to be very good at this because I'm not too familiar with half of the mascots out there, but I think Tulane's Wave is going to be on my list.
Oh,
Number
agreed.
5,
Yeah.
Tulane's Wave. I actually do like the Texas Tech, the Raiders.
The
I
Red
actually
Raiders?
do. Yeah, I actually do
That's a good one,
like that
actually.
one pretty well. I don't hate the West Virginia Mountaineers one either.
Hey, it's not bad.
The Cyclones are really stupid. I'm just going to put that out there. Not a big fan of the Cyclones.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
More Cyclone hate, honestly.
100%.
I do like Ames though. As a city, I like partying in Ames. It's pretty fun.
I don't know. Iowa State fans have always kind of rubbed me.
Really?
Yeah.
They treated me nice.
I don't know.
I was at the one the other year when we won 17-10 in like the worst football game of all time. Or was it 13-10? I think it was 13-10. Just a terrible game.
It's just, I mean, I've got a recency bias with that basketball game where they
Oh.
were just throwing shit at Tang.
That was wild.
Yeah. So,
That was wild.
give me Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
Oh man, that's a good one.
I also like Notre Dame's. I think, is that 4 for me so far? Number 2 is Notre Dame.
Yeah, number 2 is Notre Dame.
Oh, fuck.
Fighting Irish. It's a good one. Their helmets are iconic.
Yeah, they are really good.
It's so simple too. Literally just a golden helmet.
And this one, just because it's stupid, it's going to be the Ohio State Buckeyes.
The Buckeyes. The nut.
Yeah, no, they're number 1 because they're the stupidest looking, like, little thing.
Yeah, God, the mascot is weird.
Yeah.
All right. I had a pop culture minute for you, and I don't remember what it was. I remember that I had a really solid one. Oh, what do you think? So both the Champions League. I don't know if you're a huge soccer guy.
No, unfortunately, I was there for Kansas City's opener against Houston.
Oh yeah,
I was
how
there
was
for
that?
that game. That was fun. I was down on the front.
Did we win?
No, we tied, which is the best we could hope for, to be honest. So.
Is it going to be a rough season for us?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it is.
Even after the playoff run last year?
Yeah.
Didn't we win 3 playoff games?
Yeah, and then we lost to Houston. Then we opened the season against Houston.
Hate Houston.
And they should have beat us by a lot. But
I was there on the 2-0 to 3-2 comeback game a couple years back. That was really fun. When Johnny Russell won it in like the 90th +4 or something like that. It was awesome. But man, that sucks. But what do you think about the rumored playoff changes for the NCAA
oh, NCAA
football?
You mean like for the 12-team playoffs?
Yeah. They're thinking about
Is that rumored or is that official? I thought it was official.
The 12 is official, but they're thinking about going to 14 and
14.
making 3 SEC and 3 Big Ten auto bids, 2 ACC and 2 Big 12 auto bids, then 1 Pac-12, 1 group of 5, and then 2 outrights.
2 outrights. Oh, so that means you could get 3 from the Big 12. You could get 4 from the ACC. Like, okay. Well, I actually like that.
I don't know. It feels like more and more they're going to do the SEC Big Ten Super League.
Yeah.
They're going to break away.
Sure, but I like the 14 because of the outright wins. You know, there's going to be some teams that earned it but didn't get to make it, but also it feels kind of participation trophy-ish because you should have won your conference if you're going to make it.
Right. I'm worried about the state of the NCAA as the Big 12. I mean, as the Big 10 and SEC gain more power.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really worried that a lot of the smaller teams are going to like cancel their football programs because the money for them is going to dry up. But I also think that the money for the other big teams is going to dry up as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's not going to dry up enough to where they like leave their Super League, you know?
Yeah, no, it's classic American oligarchy, you know.
Yeah, I'm worried. We'll see.
Yeah, it's going to kill the small ones.
I think that Brett Yormark's doing a pretty good job of marketing the Big 12, and the moves they've made to make our league competitive in sports has been good.
Keeping the Big 12 alive in general, like because Texas and Oklahoma leaving should have crippled us.
Oh, absolutely.
They should have destroyed us, but
they are absolutely huge franchises.
Mm-hmm.
So that Oklahoma win the league every damn year.
Well, honestly, I mean, fuck Texas regardless.
Yeah, of course.
But, you know,
no one's ever done less with more than Texas.
With their own network and everything.
I'm so happy the SEC has to deal with that. Have fun dealing with the Longhorn Network fuckers.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit, the Longhorn Network is the most annoying thing.
Yeah, we sit over here with ESPN Plus.
Yeah, you get your ESPN Plus, you get your ESPN and your Fox, and then you go at Texas, and it goes, Longhorn Network, you have to steal this in order to watch it. It's like, fuck you, man.
It's all right. I'll pirate it.
Yeah, just
Sports Surge.
Shout out Streamy and Sports Surge, keeping me updated with all my sports needs. All right, I think that's just gonna about do it for us, Adam. Really appreciate you coming in and filling up Truman's shoes, at least for the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was kind of last minute that he told us that he wasn't gonna make it this week, and I was like, oh shit. Well, I was like, I bet somebody will want to come on the show. I'm really glad you were able to.
Had to come by at some point. I needed to atone. I know I had some bad takes with the Panthers. And you guys have a take episode coming up here soon,
Yes, I believe
right?
it's next week. And Truman's going to have to slam you now after you just defended your takes. But, obviously, as next season rolls around, I'm sure you'll be cooking all off season waiting for our first hot take special of the year. So
Exactly. No, I will be ready. I'm going to have a new team that's going to be 0 to hero, but it's probably still 0, because that's what it was. Those Panthers, they were supposed to be that team that made it all the way, that completely flipped it. But
well, hey, we'll have to see. Once again, shout out to all of our patrons, Dylan, Skylar, Joe, Aaron, and Meltbox, opening soon in the Iron District. Thank you to everyone for stopping in. Feel free to reach out to us at Owen Gosh Dahm on Twitter, at It's Your Boy Adam on Twitter. Follow Open Disaster Productions on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. Don't forget to hit the bell, subscribe, like, do whatever. You know, the NFL draft is coming, folks, and it's going to be a fun one for Kansas City. We'll see you around.